The BVI is taking notes from Holland and Jamaica as the government seeks to be a resource hub for local entrepreneurs and startups while luring new investors to the territory. Officials from the Department of Trade, Investment, Promotions and Consumer Affairs, including Director Kerry Christopher and Junior Minister of Trade Marlon Penn, have been studying Holland's business incubator model. Minister Penn recently returned from an exploratory trip to the Dutch-speaking country to learn about their business incubators as the government prepares to launch a similar initiative here in the British Virgin Islands.
We've had discussions with the persons who have established those incubators, so we were able to meet with the key persons behind those incubation programs. We had some discussions at a very senior level of those programs. So we're looking to see how we could sort of not reinvent the wheel, but sort of learn from the process that they've built and learn from the mistakes that they've made so that we could have a more smooth transition in terms of implementing our own incubation center. We're already looking at potential locations in the central area in Rotown. We're thinking from along the lines just broadly right now, from an innovative side, the tech side, we have a lot of process in the construction field. There's an opportunity to get those construction professionals all under one roof. It would probably help us in terms of how we engineer and develop the infrastructure in the territory. So there are a lot of things that we're thinking about right now in terms of how we could really maximize. One of the challenges that entrepreneurs have expressed is that it's very expensive to have central office space. And it's the plan to have a shared space that could sort of cover the costs for most of the businesses. What we're expecting from that as well is to create the kind of collaborative environment that where each of the businesses got to support each other, work off each other, and work on initiatives together. We saw that firsthand in Eindhoven, where you had like a innovative incubation center. It's called Founded for All, and you see how the businesses are sort of feed off each other.
The BVI is also learning from the expertise of Jamaica's Investment and Promotions Agency, evidenced by a visit by Penn to the island from November 6 to 10 last year, supported by the EU-funded Caribbean Overseas Small and Medium Enterprises COSME program based in the BVI.
We've already had discussions with JAMPRO, which is a Jamaican investment promotion agency. They've offered their full support. JAMPRO is actually now the chairman of CAIPA, which is the Caribbean Association for Investment Promotion Agency. So they've offered their unwavering support to us in terms of establishing our investment promotion agencies. They said they'll give us the technical support, they'll help us set up the structures and so forth. So, and they've been in the business for a very long time. I actually met with Minister Vaz, who's the Minister for Industry in Jamaica, and he also offered his support to assist us in the process.
The study tour is part of legislative and economic reform efforts to diversify the local economy, the latest being the completion of the review of the territory's trade regulations, as well as the formulation of a new investment strategy.
We're developing an investment promotion agency within the Department of Trade. That agency will be responsible for managing the whole aspect of investments in the territory, not just from a local point of view, but the foreign direct investments. So we now have a clear strategy in terms of how we are going to handle investments coming in and investments from within the territory. So COSME was a key driver in helping us to support that vision. We actually have a committee that has been established through Cabinet to actually revamp the investment legislative framework, to develop new trade legislation, as well as to bring into play consumer protection legislation. So we're excited about that committee's report is due, I think, within 6 weeks. And then we'll have a policy paper that goes to Cabinet and start the process of drafting the actual legislation.
Minister Penn was speaking to journalists at the launch of the first ever Trade and Entrepreneurial Week on April 3, 2017.